Absolute Batman has established himself as an extremely large force to be reckoned with. But how did he get to this point? How did he push himself? And how did the tragic events of his childhood and the advice of his father shape the man who he became? Literally, this is a central origin issue of Absolute Batman to explore Bruce Wayne's past and his inevitable future to go bigger. Absolute Batman, Volume 1, Issue 4, The Zoo, Part 4 of 5. At the trial of Joe Chill, the judge addresses Bruce Wayne. Mr. Wayne, for the court's clarification this morning, Mr. Chill was prepared to give a statement, but you requested to speak first. You said it was urgent. It's unconventional, but given the extraordinary nature of this case, I've granted you the right. You may proceed now, son. Young Bruce Wayne, his eyes tearing up and filled with fury, prepares to speak. Bruce Wayne's earliest adventures as Batman are shown. A local group called the 10 Thieves is extorting residents of Crime Alley for the protection money. One of the gang members taunts a resident saying, "We're misunderstanding each other here. 10 Thieves isn't a gang. We just want to keep this place safe. Without proper funding, though, we just can't do that." As he pushes a resident off the roof, another gang member, Meg, comments smugly, "See, we don't stay vigilant and things get really unprotectable really fast. You never know what could happen." Suddenly, the woman does not fall to the ground but is thrown back onto the roof. The gang is confused, but behind them stands the Batman. Shortly after returning to Gotham from college, Bruce Wayne has fashioned a costume design to make him look like a vampire. It includes glowing red contact lenses, a voice distorter, fake fangs, and extendable metal claws on his gloves. Using fear as weapons, he hisses and screeches while attacking the gang members, intimidating them with his monstrous appearance. Batman bites one of the 10 thieves, Brody, with his prosthetic fangs and slashes another with his claws. A third member starts shooting, but Batman's bulletproof cape protects him. He retaliates by kicking one thief and backhanding another. He strikes the gunman in the neck, disarming him, and picks up the gun. He overpowers all the gang members and finally confronts their leader, Raph. Drawing the gun, Batman points it at him, leaving the leader at his mercy. The first version of Batman leans heavily into vampiric persona, using fear and supernatural effect to terrify his enemies. Unlike later iterations, this Batman is unafraid to use a gun, much like the classic Batman did for a time. He fully intends to use it on the 10 Thieves leader, Raph. As Bruce prepares to pull the trigger, his mind flashes back to a childhood memory. He remembers working on his entry for an engineering competition. The design was inspired by bats, which he found intimidating but powerful. His initial design for the project was a massive bridge intended to help people in distressed areas by allowing parachute drops and easily assemblable. Young Bruce explained to his father that Bridges' intimidating appearance was intentional, meant to project strength and make those inside it feel safe and protected. His father, however, questioned the approach, saying, "I just wonder if intimidation is really the best strategy for a place in need." Bruce, eager to defend his work, insisted, "It's strong. I tested it up to 30 pounds. I'll make people feel safe." His father smiled and said, "Great job. I'm proud of you. Good luck with it, son." This moment stayed with Bruce, shaping his evolving philosophy about fear, strength, and protection. Batman hesitates, lowering the gun as a wave of self-awareness washes over him. He looks at Raph trembling before him and then at the weapon in his hand. This is all wrong. Batman mutters to himself, his voice filled with doubt. "What are you doing, Bruce?" The realization strikes him like a jolt. He's become the very thing he vowed to fight against. Bruce returns to the garage he is using as his temporary headquarters, his mind racing with doubt and determination. He stares at the costume and the gun symbols of his current approach and throws them into the drum filled with fuel. The flames consume the items, casting flickering shadows across the walls as he watches them burn. "It's just theatric," Bruce mutters to himself, pacing the face paint, the voice distortion, the silicone fangs loaded with paralytic, and the gun. These scare off street criminals, but they're not enough. He clenches his fist, frustration etched on his face. "These are the most desperate. Even if I scare off the 10 thieves, others will take their place. No, it's not enough. Batman needs to do more. Think bigger." Bruce turns to his workbench filled with prototypes and blueprints. His voice steadies and he resolve hardens. "So build him, Bruce. Build him bigger." The Batman does not kill. He is relentless in how he deals with criminals, using fear and intimidation to subdue them, but he draws the line at taking a life. He refuses to become like the very criminals he fights against. Batman is not the judge and executioner. He seeks justice, not vengeance. Bruce decides to instead shut down the pipeline of illegal guns and drugs into the city from Florida known as Orange Blossom. Special as the items are smuggled abroad, produced truck usually carrying citrus fruit. The OBS is run by the Maroney and Falcone crime families who are enmeshed in the city's business community and have contacts in the GCPD, making them untouchable. Bruce says they are just too damn large to take down. Using his detective skills, Bruce tracks a gun shipment using transported in several trucks headed to the port through a tunnel. Employing a remote-controlled RV car, he maneuvers it under one of the trucks as two criminals spot Batman standing ominously in the middle of the road. Batman activates the RC car, which carries a heavily modified bottle jack he designed. The jack detonates beneath the truck, flipping it violently and causing a chain reaction that crashes the other trucks in the tunnel. He crafts a new costume, still intimidating but less theatrical, focusing on practically over a flare. This is not Bruce Wayne with billions. This is Bruce, the resourceful construction worker who built the souped-up bottle jack for under 1,000. Bruce says to himself, "See, Bruce, now this feels better." The criminals are left bewildered, unable to comprehend what just happened. Batman has escalated his tactics using sheer force to subdue them. He delivers a brutal clothesline, a precise roundhouse kick, and a powerful punch straight to the head. While Batman doesn't kill, his strikes leave a lasting impression, ensuring these criminals remember this night for the rest of their lives. As he surveys the aftermath, Bruce thinks to himself, "I think maybe I figured it out." Bruce recalls his second bridge design inspired by Bat's adaptability. This version incorporated multiple adjustable parts to ensure versatility. Young Bruce explains, bats adapt. Besides rodents, they are actually more bat species than any other mammals on Earth. Why? Because they use their echolocation to map an area. They learn it and adjust to succeed there. This bridge is also adjustable. It can extend and adapt. Thomas Wayne praises the ingenuity of the design, saying, "It's really impressive. I love it." However, he gently asks Bruce if he's sure it captures what a bat truly represents at its core. Thomas then shares a personal story, how he had once wanted to be a heart surgeon after his own father died of a heart attack in front of him. However, unable to attend medical school, he realized that his true goal was to help children feel safe. As a teacher, he found a way to achieve that core goal by preparing children for the challenges of the world. He finishes with a touch of irony, saying, "Maybe in some other life I am a doctor, but in this one, teaching gives me a way of doing that core thing anyway. Now I'm going to help your mom with dinner, but this is amazing, really." We return to the trial where Bruce Wayne speaks up. "I know Mr. Chill gets to make a statement today, but before that, I want to say that I've had a moment to think about everything that happened that day. I just want to share what I've realized." His pause, his voice filled with emotion. "That morning was perfect. I had won a trip for our class, and I was walking into school with my friends, laughing about how weird the giraffes were, their tongues all long and black. But the best part was my dad. I was playing it like I didn't notice, but behind me, I caught glimpses of him, and he was so proud of me. In that moment, I knew that it was as happy as it gets. Ever. I wanted to stay in it, never leave." Bruce embarks on a soul-searching trip across the country to decide his next move. As he journeys, he reflects on he finally came up with his winning design by combining the best elements of his previous attempts. He made it lightweight enough to be easily transported and airdropped into devastated areas, enabling people to deploy themselves for their own needs without relying on the powers that be. During this introspective trip, Bruce recalls what he once told his dad. "I think maybe I was still coming at it wrong, Dad. I was thinking about the bridge, not the people. That's where I need to start. The people. They just want to live, to flourish. But this place, like the assignment says, it's been hit by disaster. Maybe it's natural, more likely man-made, but it's in trouble. The people, brave face or not, they've got to be worried about what's going to happen next. They look around and see everything falling apart. They're hurting. They feel no one sees them, like they're at the mercy, forces beyond their control, powerless. Some are angry at everyone who let them down, while others are scared, hunkering down, but it's bad." We flash back to the trial where young Bruce Wayne finishes his statement by saying, "You killed that happiness, Mr. Chill, forever. So I'm not staying for anything you have to say. I don't care what made you do what you did. I just need you to know that I hate you. I bleeping hate you. You hear me?" Young Bruce Wayne says, "I'm saying maybe in another place and time, something else will be enough. But here in this place, at this moment, there has to be more. The bat needs to be all of it, plus more. It should be intimidating, but even more so, it should be scary and adaptable, able to map further than before, rooting in all sorts of new places, just taking over spots. Bruce returns to Gotham City from the mountains, building his body bigger and making his suit larger. His designs the wings of a costume for greater functionality and begins setting up hidden bases in the sewers and skyscrapers around the city. We learn more about the Batwings and their operational capabilities and how the Bat logo ties into the bridge once showed his father. In a flashback, young Bruce Wayne proudly shows his father, Thomas Wayne, his final bridge design and says, "So it's got everything the other designs had, but this one, it's got one extra feature. It flies. Really, it's lightweight and formable, so it can be dropped from one plane and parachute down. That's why people can see it and use it themselves. There are instructions here on this flap. It'll be a tool to use however they need. They don't have to rely on the powers that be. They set it up and it makes a bridge theirs. They can use it for aid, for defense, even offense. Batman is meant to be something the people of Gotham can rely on and to direct in ways they need to destroy or stop the forces that harm them. In this version, Batman becomes a symbol for the people, particularly the working class, because that's who Bruce Wayne represents in the absolute universe. The new Batman is bigger and more formidable, standing 7 feet tall with boots. His cape incorporates advanced technology, it seems, with material that can straighten into tethers, forming a classic bat silhouette. These tethers are equipped with bat-like fingers that can impale, grasp, or hook onto surfaces, allowing Batman to glide through the air effortlessly. He can walk above the crowd, hang like a bat, and project an imposing and mysterious presence. Batman's detachable bat ears double as daggers, knives, or boomerangs, adding a versatility edge to his arsenal. Spikes extend from his back, enhancing his menacing appearance and offering additional functionality in combat. And let's not forget the Bat Axe, a powerful and iconic weapon in this new era of Batman. As Batman, he stakes out a charity ball attended by Gotham's elite, including Randall Powers, the owner of the trucking company. The Maronis and the Falcones use to smuggle goods into the city, although Powers publicly denies any knowledge of criminal activities involving his vehicles and expresses support for stricter guidelines to prevent such misuse. He is privately lobbying against the passage of such laws. Batman thinks to himself, the annual Dance for Better Gotham Charity Ball, Gotham's finest mingle, while youth dance groups from different neighborhoods compete for prizes. Me, I'm here for him. Randall Powers, the billionaire trucking tycoon whose fleet the Maronis and Falcones were using. On the news, he played horrified when I exposed the operation, vowing to support new regulations for his trucks. But I hear him lobbying Max Money, head of the GDOT, against tighter transit laws, promising campaign funds. It takes everything in my body not to bust through the skylight and plant him on the dance floor. Instead, I keep listening. I listen to Jackson Ellis, the EPA chief, back dealing with William Acme, one of Gotham's biggest polluters. I hear the politicians who promise to bring factory jobs back to the heights, groveling for donations from an automation giant. I listen to all of you, so many who are supposed to be protecting this city, who could help so easily, but instead you choose not to. You choose to stay up here laughing and eating like there's anything left for the city to feast on. No, you devoured it years ago and you ate well, and that's left now are bones. But I hear you, every last one of you. I've got GCM ears hidden beneath the dance floors, picking up every word, not to mention thermal coil rigged to flash heat and light up the room to 150 degrees in a second, just hot enough to make you sweat, to make you dance for once, even if only for a moment. You think no one can touch you up here in this mad little kingdom of yours, at the top of the world? Well, enjoy it while it lasts. Powers, I'm coming for you. A GCPD helicopter flying overhead spots Batman, and he swings away into shadows. As he disappears, we flash back to the past where young Bruce Wayne says it even has a secret buzzsaw for those hard to reach places. Wait, too much? That's what I'm saying because I really thought about it. I did. And what makes a bat, its core for me, is that it defies the impossible. It's the only mammal on Earth that flies, the only one. It's this crazy little creature that shows us we can beat anything, holding us down. To this bat, nothing is impossible, despite what anyone tells you. It says go bigger, go higher, go places you don't think you could. So what do you think? He pauses and then adds, I think it's ready. Later, Bruce forces himself to visit Blackgate Penitentiary to confront Joe Chill and hear what he has to say. say, this is not the child Bruce Wayne anymore. This is much bigger, stronger. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne says firmly, well, you had something you wanted to say. Batman is grappling with the overwhelming weight of his mission, and he operates what he represents and how he must confront Joe Chill for what he did. Bruce is working to come to terms with his pivotal confrontation while simultaneously refining his Batman persona and what it truly means for Gotham. This is his way of preparing himself, not just to face Joe Chill, the man who hurt both Gotham and him, but also to confront his deepest fears. In doing so, he is building a bigger, better Batman. Next, Absolute Batman Volume 1, Issue 5, The Zoo, Part 5 of 5.